healing, hope, community, a place to heal. Relax, be yourself, and be surrounded by those who want to see you blossom and or bloom. Blossom and or bloom. I am Jessica, sup, a Reiki master teacher and intuitive, and today we have a special healing session. We are going to be doing a Reiki session and clearing out your aura. So if you're new to the community, welcome, babies. This is your nightly self-care routine, and if you're returning, love you, love you, love you. For all those who are interested in joining the first degree Reiki practitionerships, you can join that with the link in the description box. You have until September 13th because that is when enrollment closes. So excited and happy to see all those who have already joined the apprenticeship. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So let's just go in and make sure everything is feeling all right here. Just take your time and breathe in and out. And just hold the space with yourself, okay? Release anything that is showing resistance or just not in a space you want to be. And let it all go. Release anything that doesn't allow you to grow. Release anything that reduces expansion. And release anything that just holds you down. So if you've been feeling like you've just been going through it, or highs and lows, or whatever it may be, just exhale. Let it go, okay? And we're going to work through this in your energy. So I'm going to do the Reiki symbols. We're going to start off with a prayer, and we are going to move this energy through. It is not a religious prayer, so if you're used to it, you're used to it. If you're new, it's not a religious prayer. It is a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience. That is up to you what you believe in and what your path is, and that is your responsibility. I can't tell you what to believe in. I just hold the space to facilitate a healing experience for us to coexist. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off with a prayer, and because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, wonderful. Take a couple breaths here. Releasing and letting go of anything that's not serving you. Removing anything that no longer builds into your growth and your happiness. And just let it go. Let it go. Let it go, okay? Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And I barely say this, but I want to give you all an opportunity. If you don't feel comfortable with the prayer, feel free, besides the fact when it's happening and it's premiering, feel free to fast forward through it. It is okay. Maybe you'll come back and you want to listen to the prayer, or maybe you don't. It is completely okay. Most of you all tell me when I don't say the prayer, and it's a big thing. But the reason why I feel it's important is because a lot of times in this space, as an energy healing practitioner, I come across a lot of people who have been mistreated, unfortunately, by organized religion. And it's not necessarily the faith itself, but simply the people. You all know my background. I went to school for religious studies. I'm a Reiki master teacher, and I've studied in different modalities too. So feel completely comfortable with the fact that if you don't want to listen to the prayer, you don't have to. It's not, spicy, okay? It just is what it is. But I always ask for consent, because in a healing space, you should feel comfortable. And that's the most important part. So let me go ahead and get into it, okay? Take a deep breath. May I touch you? Okay. Breathe in and out. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. The prayer is to set the intention sometimes it's better to just let life flow and also know how to adjust when life isn't happening the way you want. And that doesn't really even take any kind of manipulation or anything like that. Just understand the wisdom that comes. That's what I realized all of the years. I was actually talking to Refocus, my sister, about this. The more that we learn, the more we practice, the more we release, surrender, and just allow it to be. You don't feel like you gotta go out your way to do things. You trust that the universe will send it to you at its right time. You no longer look at things in like a positive or negative thing. You see it as a way for your soul to expand, and you feel like more in control of your energy without having to manipulate everything outside of you. Okay, I'm gonna sit down now. Okay. So I'm gonna go in now with the Reiki symbols. And if you want to learn more, that is what the Reiki level 1 certification is for. And I'm in such a teaching mood that I couldn't help but have that conversation. But let's just go in here and just balance out the energy. So just going in and starting to move things around and just making sure it's aligned. Okay. And shifting it so that it calibrates to the frequency that feels comfortable for you. And again, just going to reiterate, it is your responsibility to figure out what you believe. Your spiritual path or your religious path. And that should be your choice. Whether you believe in something or you don't believe in anything, or whatever that is, you are responsible for how you live this life, and you have to make the choices for it. So don't just be in a faith because you were born into it, or don't force yourself to do things because you feel like you have to. Go with the flow. People change all the time. Be expansive and grow. A part of the reason why I went to school for religious studies was because I really enjoyed learning about religion and faith and things like that without feeling like I needed to join anything. I was like, I don't need to join this, but I just enjoyed it. And now looking at it later, I appreciate the opportunity to have those scholarly conversations, and then at the same time to see people who were my peers who were in certain faiths too, and giving that perspective as well. So that's always wonderful. But ultimately, your healing is a personal journey that you get to define and build and recalibrate all the time. One thing that I want you to let go, maybe you don't hold on to it, but to let it go, is any guilt that is related to your spiritual path, your religious path. Guilt has no place, shame has no place, and I totally understand there are a lot of different faiths that incorporate the guilt and the shame as a part of keeping things in line, get it? But at the end of the day, universe, God, source, or whatever you believe in, is unconditional love. And a lot of these experiences that we experience in life, even the traumatic ones, are on a soul level, transformational. And when you look at it from your soul's perspective, this soul that has incarnated into this body that exists long, before and after we, as we are in this experience, are gone, you notice that everything you do, as long as you can find the path to the higher vibrational experience, no matter what you've ever gone through, the soul evolves. If the soul can go through things and still find its way back to God, universe, source, or, if you want to visualize it as unconditional love or a star or planet or something like that, unlimited So just moving that energy through, continuing to move that energy through, just working through the aura and cleansing that. And with each breath you're taking, I want you to become more and more comfortable with yourself. And what I mean by that is, I am enough. And that I have lived the exact life I needed to live to have an expansive present. I have lived the exact life I needed to live to have an expansive present. I have lived the exact life I needed to live to have an expansive present. And accept that you were chosen to live an expansive life regardless of where you came from or your situations before, regardless of how you felt prior to coming into the session, that you were chosen simply by being you. That was the only prerequisite. You don't have to prove anything. Nothing is required. Please don't prove anything. Just be yourself and follow the gifts and the passions that you have in your heart, that have been placed in your heart. You have to live them out, whatever it is. And if it's unconventional, you'll figure it out. It'll always come into line. But just make sure you go for it and go after it, okay? So just shifting this energy, encouraging you to do it your way, okay? You know how to do it. Just do it your way. Just do it your way. Do it your way. Do it your way. Okay. Just bringing that back in line, shifting that energy, allowing it to focus, 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 focus. Okay. So I'm going to bring in some cleansing cinnamon, my herb of choice. I'm sure your herb of choice is whatever it is. Feel free to be expansive and to explore. So with cinnamon, I love that it's always so grounding. I love that it is constantly burning. I'm very connected to root chakra energy, and it has a very root chakra balancing type of energy. And it is cinnamon. It's cinnamon, love. It is cinnamon, okay? Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Just place that over to the side. And I'm just going to shift out any residual stuff and just let it go. Take 3 deep breaths for me. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Final breath. Inhale. Exhale. Fantastic. Beautiful. You did a great job. So I'm going to smooth over your aura and seal you with the sign of the infinity and say, congratulations. You won the life that you have, and you won the most perfect life for you in order to get your purpose out there. So go about doing what you need to do, babies. You know I love you so much, and you know I'm proud of you, and it's always important for me that you are building yourself up at all times. Baby, I wouldn't tell you to do it if I didn't live it myself. So go love you, love you, love you. Cannot wait until next